For more on this, I'm joined by Jock O'Connell, International Trade Advisor with Beacon Economics. He joins me live from Sacramento. Good to see you, sir. Welcome to Biz Asia America. Help walk us through the problem here. So this consortium that's led by Belgium and Italy and Spain, they took on the project. There's now cost overruns, and they're saying that Panama should be responsible for the overruns. Of course, the government in Panama says otherwise. Who's right?
It's a matter of perspective, I suppose. The bid originally proposed by the consortium came in significantly lower than even what the Panamanians thought it would be, and it was considerably lower than what the competing bids were. I think that much of the problem rested with the fact that the consortium expected to be able to use a grade of concrete in this project that was subsequently rejected by Panamanian regulators. And so that in itself would have significantly driven up the final cost of the project because of the vast amounts of concrete that were involved in constructing these new locks.
I'm not a lawyer, but if I was a lawyer in a different lifetime, my question would be is what does the contract say?
Well, I'm an economist, so on the one hand, I think that that's the matter that's under dispute now. Right now, this is a matter involving the consortium and the Panama Canal Authority. The Spanish government has felt, for some reason, that it needs to insinuate itself into this dispute to try to resolve it. Somebody at some point is going to have to come up with a $1.6 billion shortfall, and that remains to be seen.
The Panamanian government...
It does tend to...
I was going to say, the Panamanian government has said that they want to resolve the situation, obviously, because it's a project, it's very big, it's very, very important to the economy, not just in Panama, but obviously there's a lot of countries that have a stake in this. If the deal does get delayed, let's take the if first, what are the economic impacts?
Well, the economic impacts are pretty much localized for the time being. It's going to slow down the anticipated opening date of the Panama Canal. But for the maritime industry in general and for the shipping industry, it's not a big deal at this particular time. It's not as though we need these new locks to open up in order to handle the volume of trade. As your correspondent noted earlier, only about 5% of the world's trade goes through Panama. We're perfectly capable of handling through the existing port structures and intermodal terminals in the United States the entire volume of trade that's coming in and out of the country through ports every day. This is more of a perspective problem, but for the time being, it's one that directly affects the Panamanians and their need to find a way out of this problem. And it suggests to me that they're going to have to find new players to come in with new sources of capital.
I'm just wondering, you know, for the countries involved in Europe on this particular project, is there enough at stake and will there be enough pressure for them to say, look, we have to continue this construction and then we'll deal with the cost overruns at the end of the project? It is a bit odd to see them sort of stop construction halfway through and then deal with it right now until the project is completed. Isn't that a bit odd to you?
Well, it is, but it's inconceivable or virtually inconceivable that this project will be left unfinished. So at some point, someone is going to come in and finish it. And with $1.6 billion at dispute, the real question is to what other resources or other sources of money will they have to turn for capital in order to finish this project, and to what extent will they need new partners, new investors in this project in order to make the Panama Canal work?
If there is a delay...
And that's sort of the unponderable right now.
Well, if there is a delay, you know, obviously the workers would then go home, the project sort of stops, and you can't just start the project up again on Monday. I mean, it takes a significant amount of time once you move those resources out of the area. Would there be enough of an impact to affect the economy, even as you say, in that localized region?
Oh, certainly. I mean, right now there are tens of thousands of workers in Panama who engage in construction of this project. It's a large part of their national income. So if the project ceases for an appreciable period of time and the workers don't have work to do, then that's going to have a significant impact on Panama's economy. The question, therefore, is, does Panama have the resources to come up and close this financing gap by itself, or is it going to have to turn to third or fourth parties?
I know you're an economist, but I'm going to ask you to put your forecasting hat on here a little bit. What do you think the likely outcome of this dispute will be?
I think we'll see a delay in the construction of the Panama Canal, but it will eventually open. and that ironically, there's some advantages in this, in that any delay in the opening of the canal does provide ports in the United States along the Atlantic and Gulf coasts with added opportunity to finish the jobs that they started 2 or 3 years ago, and that is preparing themselves to handle massive new volumes of cargo.
All right.
So they've got more time now to do the dredging, to enhance the wharfage, to improve their intermodal connections with the interior. This is probably a godsend for lots of ports, including the port of Miami, which was noted earlier in your broadcast.
This is a fascinating topic. Jock O'Connell with Beacon Economics, we thank you for your analysis. And of course, along with you, we will be watching developments here.